can leave that like that. Put a wire tie there, tie that, tie that.
Okay.
That's it. One fitting. Fuel system's done. Upgraded to a 12-gallon per minute pump, not a 6. Oh, that's where that went. That was the vent goes here. It's gonna be one of these goes.
Anyway, we'll get all these other hoses hooked
Yep.
up. Okay.
All right, jumping around a little bit. So we got the fuel, that's set. I got a shut-off valve coming for this to shut the vent off so we don't, you got an open vent here. A fitting coming for that, like we talked about. I'm gonna take the master cylinder out. So I gotta take these EGT sensors off, get the master cylinder out of the way, change the master cylinder, and then we'll check this pedal, make sure the pedal ratio is good. And then I'm gonna install this wire and harness through the fender well and up and in. Get that done. Obviously we're waiting on some parts. So we're waiting on, what are we waiting on? Valve covers, we're still waiting on an alternator, we're waiting on the coil brackets. Waiting on parts sucks. So I already got the hoses, we got them already made up. That's gonna go on top of the valve cover. The valve cover, one's gonna go to that, and the other one's gonna go to that, to the puke tank. So we got weld-on bungs coming to weld the bungs onto the tank. We're getting there. Right now we're gonna do all that stuff. Mess around with this side here with this master cylinder. So the more you dig, the more junk you find. So I took the master cylinder off, took the pedal out, right? And this rod was, I just moved it. This thing was just flopping in the breeze. This wasn't tight. None of this was tight. So, gotta fix that. And it's missing a bolt, but let's see if I can get that bolt in there. So it's missing one bolt on the bottom here. I'm gonna try to get that on there. All right, so we got the new master cylinder, strange deal. Different bore size than the other one. It's a little bit smaller, so see if we can get this rod to stay in the master now and see if this thing's gonna work. All right, so the new master comes with this. It's got a little rubber thing on here. This one didn't have anything, so I took it off of here, put it on there. This way, this will stay in here now. You ain't gonna worry about that thing flopping out. Then once we get it in place, we can adjust it, and then we'll lock the nuts together. Okay, that's that. I'm gonna put those fittings back in this one. We're gonna bench bleed it and get it ready to go back in. All right, so got the pedal out of the car. Change the master cylinder. So now, this is obviously the pedal, right? So the pedal ratio is determined by the length of here and here. It has how much pressure you can put on here. So according to them, they want 6.1
to 7 or whatever, you know,
Whatever,
or
right?
greater.
Well, the way this is set up, it's only 4.
Right.
So this needs to be moved up like about a ½ an inch, so it's gonna be here. And I know that don't look like a lot. That's a big difference with
Yeah.
pressure-wise. So we're gonna grind this off, knock this pin out, make a new hole, move it up, and then we'll be able to use all the same stuff. And then we'll go from there. And then we should be good. All right, give me the grinder.
We're gonna punch that hole 2 inches from the center of the
Pivot point.
Yeah, from the pivot point down 2 inches. It's not a lot, but when you're going by leverage and the ratio, it's a lot.
Give me the other rod, Phil.
There, use this one.
I'm gonna stick on it. All right, and then we'll just weld it.
Yep, just
Plug weld the back of it like the other one.
alright.
So we made a new hole, press that back in, just weld the back, that's it.
Okay.
That's it. All right, so all the brake stuff's back together. Got a nice pedal. Got everything bled out. Which, if you're ever gonna put brakes together, don't route them like this. It's a pain in the ass to bleed them because this is up high. All this stuff needs to be below the master cylinder so it can all gravity feed, gravity bleed, and then it's easier to bleed everything out. So we replaced the one bolt that was missing down there, put that back together, got the lines back on, bled everything, got a nice brake pedal. I redid this wire here. So there's a wire that goes on the back of the block from the coils. So we ran the coils down underneath the fender here like this. The head, the one that goes to the cylinder head, the ground wire comes out of here. The rest of them go in the car. So I'm doing the same thing for this side. I'm making, this is what was on there, but they're really short, so they're hard to get to when you gotta plug and unplug them. So I'm just making up some new ones, make them a little bit longer, so it's easier to plug them in and unplug them from the harness. So same thing we're gonna do here. All right, so that's where we're at right now. What else just showed up? Something else just showed up. We got like 5 million things going on over here with this car. Trying to get everything done. So the master cylinder's all done. We gotta find a different alternator because the alternator, no good. I don't know what the deal is with this stupid alternator, but I'm trying to get the same one that's on my car because it's an adjustable voltage on it. So it's nice, you could run it from, 12, 14, 16, whatever you want. And I gotta find another one. Fuel system's done, pretty much done. I'm waiting on one fitting for that. That should be here tomorrow. So everything else looks good. I'm gonna finish wiring this thing, this piece right here, and then I can put this side on, go back in the car, finish wiring all that. Oh yeah, the dash bezel came. I got a new dash bezel for it. So we just gotta trim it back so that the Holly dash fits nice and flush in there. And we're trying not to break it this time. All right. Got these little harnesses made up for the head. Straightened out that mess with that. So now this is nice and cleaned up. Waiting on the valve covers. Got valve cover studs. We're gonna put them on, get them on there. And I'm gonna make a phone call and start finding out about this alternator now. Okay, got some more parts in. Look at the dash bezel. Gonna remount all that. This one was all yanked up. Valve covers. Got the pulley for the alternator came in. I'm waiting on the alternator. So the harness is basically ready. We got that sitting in here. Got the ground wire all connected up back up. We got the valve cover filler neck. And where did the thing go here? Where did it go? Motion Race Works just, we got those. Where did they go? Got the wires and all that stuff. Motion Race Works, where did it go? Okay. Maybe I didn't bring them out here yet. Thought I did. Anyway, we got the coil bracket things for, oh, here we go, sorry. Got the coil brackets from Motion Raceworks in. All right, so I'm gonna get that done right now. Mount them up, plug these in, plug all the coils in, and then finish wiring the inside up. And then that'll be done. That fitting came, and some of this stuff, half the people don't even believe half the crap we have to go through with parts. So I called up Aeromotive, I ordered the part. I said, I need that. They said, yep, here's the part number. What did I do with it? I think I left it on the back. I ordered the part comes in, the package says 12, like it's supposed to be. Here it is. Right, so that's what the package says. 12 AN, 12 cutoff. So that part screws into the pump, and then that's not a 12. So I'm gonna order another one of those, which I ordered it from Racetronics this time. So it's a 16 on the bottom and 12 on the top. We're gonna get that. That should be showing up today. And the rest of the bungs came in to weld the bungs to the can. We are gonna take these Motion Racework ones and mount these to the new valve covers. And then put those on. I tried putting the valve covers on, but they have a big ass lip on them. So we might not be, oh, there's the valve cover, it's on the car. So we valve covers, right? But if you put the studs on, see how I have to like kind of like go over and back down? Because of this flange that's on them. So, see, there's no room. So if you put a stud on it, you can try going straight down with the stud, it won't work. So we're gonna use those. Can't use the studs, we'll just use the little Allen bolts that it came with. Either way, it's still easier than trying to take the coils off and take all this stuff out of the way and trying to get to them. So those look good. Would have looked better if this was polished, but whatever. You can always send that off later on if he really wants it done. All right, so let me get to work. Like I said, first thing I'm gonna do is get the coils mounted, finish that part up. So putting the coils together, messing around with them for about half hour now, trying to figure out why they don't butt up. Well, they butt up together. It's almost like they had the spacers too short, right? Because when you put them together like that, then you can't get the clip on.
But
so we called them up now that they opened, and they said, oh no, that's the way they are. You got to put all the clips on.
it's so that they don't come on.
Yeah, whatever. That's
During the run. Did you have this?
So now you got to put all the clips on, and then you tighten all the coils up together, and that'll keep the clips in place except for the back one. So what's the difference? But anyway, all right, so that's what it looks like. So it'll look like that. Now I'm going to start making up the wires. He's going to put the other set of coils together for the other side. All right, here's how we do this. So they're all cut to length. They come with these little numbers that you can attach to them, right? You put them on. So I got them all numbered. I know which ones go where. Now we're going to put the ends on. So put the ends on. It comes with this tool. You stick the wire in from this end. You stick it to that line right there. Take a razor blade and you cut it off. And I'll show you what that is. 1 second. I can't hold the phone at the same time. Give me a minute. All right. So that goes like that. And then this goes on here. Spin the wire and it'll cut it. Okay, so it'll cut the outside and leave the core untouched like that. You fold that over, put one of these ends on it, and then you get the other half of the tool, which is this. Put the wire in the end in it like that. Push it down inside there. Get this other end and encapsulate it. Put it in a vise, squish it together, and it'll crimp it. Show you that part. All right, so you got that in there like that. This has a little lip. This is gonna go like that. Now you see how that sits, right? Stick it in the vise like that. Squish it together. Okay. Now that gets crimped like that. And you put a little bit of dielectric grease on the boot and just stick it right in there. All right. You make sure that the hole is lined up. So you just make sure that that is lined up with the opening of the hole, right? And you're good to go. And that's it. Get 2 of them made up already. We'll get the rest of them made up. All right. You show what they all look like when they're finished. All right. Put them all on there. It looks nice and clean. Easy to get to. If you ever have to take the spark plugs out, take the valve covers off, it makes it simple. You don't have to, but it makes it really easy like that because you get your hands in there, no problem. Everything's accessible. All right, so next thing is I'm actually gonna check the valves while I got it apart because we did have it running. So I'm gonna check the valves real quick, check the lash on them before I put the valve covers back on. So we gotta make the holes in the valve covers, weld a bung on the top, and then those could go back on. Finish wiring this cable, tie all this stuff up under here. It's all gotta be tucked up and tied. This one's in, that's good to go. We're good, getting there. Just gotta get more coffee. All right, we good. Finish wiring that junk up.
All right, we got our oversized vise now on here. So we're gonna mill the.
You could do this at home.
Oh yeah.
Sure.
Slap valve covers on it. Anyway.
So here's the problem. So we got the hole made for the
breathers.
See that in there?
Yeah.
So we got those holes made for the breather. But when you put the valve cover on, this lip overhangs the head, and it's actually just touching the push rods.
Yeah.
So this side's no problem. So the top of the valve on the top side. So I'm just gonna take like, whatever, 1/4 inch off the whole thing. All right.
I'm gonna set it all up first to make sure.
Well, I want to zero this.
Okay.
And we'll make sure it's. Look how far off they are.
Hold on. I move it in a hair.
Start on the other side. All right, so valve cover is machined down. Got this one fitting on here. I gotta put the other end on that. Now they fit nice. We got, see now it's got room to go up and down so it don't hit nothing. Got a gasket for it. I need one fitting. What'd I do with it? Got a fitting. All right, he's welding that over there. So I gotta find this other fitting that we took off. What do we do with it? Oh, maybe I don't even have one of those. It only had one on one side. Dang. Yeah, it had this on the other side. No, that's That's a cap. Yeah. Supposed to have another one. All right. There it is, right there. Okay. Let me get this off. I'll put this on there. And he's doing that.
Milling the bushings down.
I'm making the bushing so everything lines up straight. I got one done. And we'll go check it again. Okay. That's it. And that's 0. Yep.
Lock that.
Looks like. All right, those bushings are on. Belt lines up perfect now. We got the alternator mocked up. Now I got to make the bushing that goes from here to here. So that's going to go in there. We're going to make another hole, and then we'll be able to put a bushing there. It'll be nice and stable. So let's see what I got to do with these. Or make another one big long one if I could. We'll see. I'm going to check that out. He's getting the drill so we can make the hole. We'll just move that out of the way and put an angle drill in there and mark it and make the hole. Got one valve cover, nice, that's on, ready to go. I checked the valves are good. Didn't move at all. 15 thousandths cold, perfect. So here we go, gonna make the drill hole here.
We're making our bushing now for the other, for the top of the alternator on the other side now, on the alternator bracket.
All right, so we got the bushing made up. I just made one big long one instead of piecing it all together. Same thing with these. We cut these down, made them fit. That's all done. So that belt is at the end of the, that's like at the middle adjustment. So now we got to go find a belt that's going to fit that thing. So the belt that was on it, it's got to be the same. This has got to fit in between here. So same thickness and width or whatever. And 2 inches shorter. All right, let's go try to find that now. All right, so we got the belt. All we had to do was look. So the belt that was on there is a really, really skinny little thing, which I don't know what the heck that's from. So we found the right length, right? Nice groove belt. So we had to move it to get it on there. So you had to back the bolts off, just back the blower out.
Just a little bit.
Just enough to get the belt in there. So.
But that's on there now. Got all the spacers made.
You don't have to take it all the way off, but at least.
Yeah, you just gotta move it. Alternator's on. Got the wire coming.
Yeah,
on order.
So we had to get the wire for that.
We got new valve cover gaskets.
So we got the valve covers all done.
Oh yeah, here. Those are all welded on there. Brought it over to Dutra. Welded up all the fittings. And that's it. Now we're just gonna rewire the coils inside. Put the ends back on it for the plug, and that's kind of it.
Brake light switch we gotta go pick up.
Yeah, I gotta go get that. And then I can weld the little tab for the brake light switch.
Okay, that's it.
We could put it all back together and fire it back up.
Oh my gosh. All right, so we're getting somewhere now. So the alternator is good. Belt lined up perfect. Spacer, I got the ground strap on it. All right, that comes with an extra ground strap. The tank is on. So one's gonna go to one side, one's gonna go to the other side valve cover. That's gonna get a cap, and then we'll use that to vacuum all the moisture out of it. The other two lines will get another hose to vacuum the intake into the block and cool that down. The valve covers are on. We used new valve cover gaskets, and I put silicone, whatever that, what's that stuff called?
Right stuff.
Yeah, right stuff on the one side against the cover. This way when you pull the cover off, the gasket stays with it. You ain't got to mess with trying to line everything back up. All right, so we're getting there. That's all done. We're still waiting on a fitting for the fuel. And then that'll be buttoned up. And that's it. Got to finish wiring the inside. We got a cable coming tomorrow. I had to order the red positive number 4. And that'll go in around to the battery, or to the cutoff switch anyway. All right, dinner time, another night. All right, we'll come back out here again. So we cut this wire back. So we had all the harness coming in here. So this one's coming from the other side. I've kept them real long. Now I could shorten them up, make them fit where I need them to fit. And then we'll get all this finished up and be able to plug this back in so it'll be up and running again. And then once we know it runs again, I got to run the one wire for the battery cable tomorrow. That's got to go into that cutoff switch. We'll make sure everything works right, and then we can put the dashboard back in. Josh went to pick up a brake light switch, and we got to make a little bracket for that and hook it to the pedal. So probably end up doing that tomorrow too. Right now it's like 8 o'clock at night, so we just finished. I'm doing this, so he ran to the store to pick that up that we ordered. It came in. We'll get this thing going here. All right, let me get in there. I gotta sit in here and do it now. All right, finally all the wiring's done. Got the brake pedal. We got the little tab for the brake pedal. We got a new switch for it. Let's just throw some paint on there. That's it. It is done. We're about 10 o'clock at night. We're done. Now we're just gonna, tomorrow I just gotta get the positive cable from the alternator to the battery shut-off switch, and that's it. All right, that's the end of that deal. Tomorrow is another day. The lights out for tonight. All right, let's go. Oh yeah. All right, so got mostly everything back together. Got all that back together. Got the wires all run. That's all nice and tight and clean. Valve covers are all on. Got the cable all run inside the car. Got all that done. All that's done. Brake pedal, brake switch, all that's done. I'm working on the dash. So this bezel was busted up, so we got another one. I had to grind this down to make it sit flush like they did that one. And then we'll get all that mounted back together. And what else I gotta do? I gotta tighten up one bolt right there. Clean the inside of this thing out. Get the welding blanket back out of there. Get that all done up. And we'll see about firing it up. And then put the dash back in it. And then we'll get it up on the lift over here and put the diaper on the bottom of it. And I think we're done. Oh, I gotta modify that one little bracket so that the hood closes right, and try to figure out what is wrong with the front. so that we get these latches to latch the right way. All right, and we're still waiting on that one fitting. Okay, got this all back together. Put the switch back in it. Now it looks nice and clean. It actually still had the rubber, so that'll look good on there. That's it. One fitting I'm waiting on. Then I can fire it up, put the dash back together, put it up on a lift. And that should be it, I hope. All right, back at it. Rainy day. We just came from Tony Mullins' place. He put this crimp hose on here for us. So now we're going to use that and that and these. I don't know what the heck this was. Put that off. So that and that. So those are the two hoses we're going to use for the hat. Josh is welding the tab. So on this the seat belt. So here's the issue with the seatbelt thing. So if you look at this, the tab is up here. The hole for the seatbelt's here. Your shoulders are up here like this. So if something happens, you're actually pulling up. You're pulling up on the seat. So this tab needs to go down here so that it's pulling down. And we're gonna straighten that out. He's gonna try to sneak himself in there somehow.
On the back. All right.
Because then or else we're gonna have to take the seat out, and I really don't want to take the seat out. So let's see if he can get in there. All right, so I got these hoses on. That's all set. Nice and clean. He's inside there. He got himself back in there. Welding a little tab on. So that'll be done. Touch up a couple things in there. We're good to go. Pouring rain outside. All right. Looking good. Still waiting on this fitting. One fitting. The only thing holding us up from getting it running right now. All right, so the fitting came in, put the fitting in, putting some fuel in it. Got the battery charged back up again, just in case. That should be good. All right, fire it up. Make sure it still runs. Get it on the lift and then put the diaper on it and we're done, I hope. All right, so never ending with this freaking car. So we put about 1.5 gallons of fuel in it, right? I figured, all right, let's just put about 1 gallon or so in it, make sure it runs. Because all we're gonna do is move it on the lift. Tried starting it, won't start. I'm like, what the frick? So at first I thought I flooded it, which I didn't. Made sure everything was good. Come back out here. We disconnect the line from here, right? Like that. No fuel. We're like, what? Now, with the electric pump, so we got a primer pump on it. No fuel. So I'm like, what the heck, right? So then I had Johnny hold this into the tank. Like, we just flip it back into the tank. And it was coming out like all aerated, like you're barely coming out. I'm like, okay. We know it's not the mechanical pump because we didn't even get to that part yet. Hit it with some choke cleaner, started right up. Okay, now we know we ain't got no fuel. So now I'm thinking, oh man, injector problem or something. So, not the injector, got no fuel coming out of here. Take the primer pump off, right? Put it in there. Barely anything comes out of it. So now I'm looking in there.
If you see down there.
And see where the pickup is? Granted, there's like this much fuel in it. We put like that much in it, right? Well, the tank is so wide.
Yeah, put a lot of fuel
It
in there.
was barely covering the hole, so it was getting aerated. So put the whole 5 gallons in it. Now it flows perfect. So just another thing to keep in mind. Make sure you got fuel in it.
Enough fuel, not just fuel.
Yeah,
You know?
just keep it full. So if it goes down past that point, it ain't gonna start. Now we gotta prime it again. Let me get this back on. Try it one more time. Okay. All right, so straighten the fuel line out, straighten the fuel out. Started putting the dash back in so I could put the dash cluster in and monitor the fuel pressure and all that stuff. So got this part in, I gotta put the center piece in, then we can put the little cluster in. All right. Okay. Now we just got to get the boost in there so we know what boost is pushing. All right. All right, so I couldn't see nothing out of that window. It's all dusty. I gotta clean the window. So Annalisa helped me get it up on the lift here. And we're gonna install this diaper. So looking under here now, no more leaks. On the valve cover, nothing. We're good to go with all that. So I gotta put this back on and make sure all the wires are all tied up like we were trying to do on the ground. Put the diaper on it and we're done. Okay, okay. All right, so this diaper, right, comes with a pad, right? This one came with holes in the front of it like this, so you have for motor mounts. So we gotta slip this underneath between the rail and the rack and all that. And then this will go around the motor mount. So it'll be a nice clean fit, I hope. Okay, all right, so now you gotta find a place to put these, right? So it comes with these tabs. So we gotta open the holes up here. We're gonna use the holes in the heads. But all these holes are all 7/16 coarse thread. So it's the same 2 holes that we had the, you know, the grounded cylinder head deal going to, right? So I figured, okay, I'll take one of them off. And it looks like this, right? So 7/16 grade 8 bolt. I mean 7/16 coarse thread bolt. So I figured, okay, I'll use those for the back. I was gonna get 4 new ones because this one's cut down, right? I go to the hardware store and I figured, oh, these are nice, stainless steel. I get these, they're already cut to the right size. They'll be great. Look at the price. That's for 2. I only bought 2, okay? $8. I want to build a race car. Yeah. You want to build a race car? Unreal. Good grief, man. You think about prices of stuff is out of control. But anyway, so this is what we're going to use. I'm going to remount this one in the back, but you don't see it, and put the two new ones on the front. And the little clips and all that. And then we'll strap it all in. All right. Got that all on. That's all set. Nice and strapped up. Got it away from everything here. Looks good. All right. We're done. So that's it. Next time, the end of the end of this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I'm gonna have Josh put the nose back on me, put the hood back on, stick it back in the trailer. Waiting for the phone call to go up to the dyno and finally get it tuned up a little bit and get some fuel to it. And then we'll take it to the track. So I hope you enjoying these videos. This one was another kind of long one, but it takes a lot of time to do this stuff. So there it is. Check it out. See you at the track.